Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our how-to series. I'm just going to give a couple of minutes just to allow everybody to get logged on okay. Just want to check everyone can hear me fine. So if you can just pop a little, I can hear you into the chat, that would be great. Don't want to go through the whole presentation and realise no one can hear us. Lovely. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Clive. Glad you can hear us. Just give it another minute or so. Let a few more people get logged on. Looks like we've got a few people coming through. And then we'll get started. Thank you, Kanchana. Okay. Looks like we've got quite a few of you guys on now. A couple more coming through now. Let's just let them connect. Lovely. Right, I think we should get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the next instalment of our how-to webinar series. Throughout the series, we've covered quite a range of topics that looks at the whole selling online process. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Lorna Lever. I'm an engagement manager here at GS1, but you might have already heard my voice and if you've joined a couple of our events before. So today I'm joined by our fantastic speaker, Kevin Dixie, who is the founder and managing director of the e-commerce consultancy fuelmywebsite.com. Morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
So today, Kevin, I believe you're going to be sharing with us the fundamentals of selling on Amazon, basic company requirements to launch your products on the platform, what product information that is needed, and how you can optimize your selling online. So just before we begin, I've got a little bit of housekeeping. I just want to talk you through those. So for roughly about 30 minutes, we're going to have Kevin taking us through his presentation, but we'll also be taking questions and answers. We will have some time at the end, but we do really want to make this interactive. So make use of the chat function and we'll be sure to share the questions with Kevin. Please also be aware that your microphones are going to be muted throughout the webinar just to avoid background noise. We're also recording the session and it will be available on our website within the next few days. Also within the handout section, you will see the slides, so don't worry about furiously writing down any notes. So once again, it's great to have you here, Kevin. So I'm just going to pass over to you so we can get on to the good bit.
Thanks very much, and thanks again, GS1, for allowing me to talk today. Most appreciative. And also thanks to everyone who's taken time out in what's probably quite a busy period for you guys to watch this. So, as Lorna said, the purpose of this is really to kind of explain the fundamentals of starting to sell on Amazon. I haven't gone into massive detail, purely because you guys are going to be bored of seeing these kind of presentations, I'm sure, and you're sick and tired of Zoom with your family and stuff like that. So we'll kind of breeze through it. What I'll do is I'll pause on the pages that will be of interest so you can take a note. So if you've got any questions, write them down or send the questions in whilst I pause. Because I think really this is for you guys, so it's more of a Q&A that's interesting to me. And also I'll show you some links at the end. So if you do want to book a free no sales call with me at the end, feel free to do that, and we can answer in detail any questions you may have with Amazon. It's the most complex space on the marketplace anywhere, so appreciate if any of you guys have had issues with going on Amazon. So anyway, the agenda, if it's like, is a little bit about us, about Amazon, how to choose, what you need to get started, how to open categories, which is a big issue for most people, how to list a product from scratch, brand registry, what we do, and some useful links. So hopefully this will be informative for you. And as I say, if you have any questions, feel free to kind of put them up on the board or make a note. So firstly, who are we? So we founded the business in 2007, and we literally specialize in helping companies, whether they start up with one product to a medium-sized business with a few thousand products. We specialize in getting them up and selling on Amazon. So we can do either helping set the actual account up from scratch, we can help list the products, we can optimize the products. If you're having no success on Amazon, we can help with optimizing them on Amazon. If you've got problems with the account not working, we can help with that. So we really are hands-on, get you selling. That's all we do. Key point here is we're only based in the UK, so we don't have any kind of centers of people based around the world, working in the wrong language. We feel if you're selling on Amazon, the people you're working with need to be based in England and understand the fundamentals of the products, etc. you've got. And in the last 6 months, we've set up over 100 companies from scratch. And since lockdown, we have had the busiest month we've ever had. And I think this is probably true for most people that are on the marketplace stroke online space. Clearly, the high street has been closed since March, and there's a fundamental change in the way people are buying products right now. We noticed the biggest shift during lockdown, where people were coming to us who are grocery sellers. And I think what's happened is a lot of people who didn't realize that Amazon sold grocery products. You go to Tesco's and buy the stuff, but actually there's been a change. So we feel, and I think GS1 agree with me on this, that we feel that this is kind of fast tracked the online sales process by 2 years. And you're not alone if you're not on Amazon and you're wondering how to get on Amazon, because so many people are, thousands and thousands and thousands of people are now setting up on Amazon. So a little bit about Amazon. I know you all know Amazon. They've got £14.5 billion of sales on the marketplace in the UK. 52% of all units are sold by third-party sellers, which is quite interesting, because most people buy on Amazon, think they're being shipped from Amazon, where actually over half are sold by people like us, people with our own products. The crucial thing here is that 15 million people in the UK subscribe to Prime. That's a massive figure. And I've also heard from Amazon there's 40 million people in the UK with an Amazon account. So Amazon is growing now faster than ever. And I think it's crucial if you've got a product of any shape or size to have that product on Amazon right now. And a quick example, we had a client that went pre-lockdown, was in Harvey Nichols pitching a product range. And the buyer said, we love your products. We want to put them on the shelf in Harvey Nichols. However, and this is a beauty product, however, you're not on Amazon, and we need you guys to be on Amazon in order to increase your reach, which will help us sell more in store. So, things are changing. Amazon is no longer seen as this eBay type business. It's now an actual retailer. There's a quick stat for you, that 70% of Brits say that Amazon's the first place they go to, which also opens a question, as a lot of companies now focus on their own online website, but actually, think about Amazon, that's where everyone shops. You should be on there as well. And of course, Amazon, since lockdown, they've hired 100,000 more staff. I think that speaks for itself. I don't need to go into that, but it's huge. So in terms of the basics of Amazon, there are 3 ways to sell on Amazon. And now you may want to make a note on this one, because there's some questions on this. So if you want to sell to Amazon like you would a normal retailer, it's called vendor. Now this is invite only. So you can't approach Amazon and say, hi, we want to sell to you. They have to come to you effectively. There might be the odd occasion you can luckily find someone at Amazon to take your products, but the reality is it's invite only. When they buy from you, they tend to start with low numbers and slowly increase it as your product sells more on Amazon. So it's quite a slow process, but ultimately they pay for your products up front. So that's one option. The other option is, or the second option, is to sell on Amazon, which is called Seller Central. So Seller Central is where you list your products and you sell your products to Amazon's users or customers. So within that Seller Central, there's two elements to it. One is called Fulfilled by Amazon. This is where you have your stock in Amazon's warehouses, and they will pick, pack, and ship each product for you when there's a sale. This is actually really good. Firstly, because obviously they're shipping so many products every day. They've got their own fleet of delivery vehicles, etc. And I'm yet to find anybody, and I mean anybody, whether it be corporate down to small, that can beat their prices that they charge you. So they'll charge you the fee, which is based upon the weight and the size of the product, but that fee they charge you is in my mind untouchable. The other way, if you're a bit kind of wary as to whether Amazon's really the right space for you, you can do what's called fulfilled by merchant. So in essence, you're selling your products on Amazon, and when an order comes through, you ship it directly to the customers from your warehouse, garage, front room, wherever it may be. So this way works better for those companies that have maybe more of a luxurious product, that want to control the way the product arrives to a client or customer. So, if you're gift wrapping and you want to put it in your own packaging, add some samples or whatever you may want to do with that sale, this gives you complete control. Obviously, when it's fulfilled by Amazon, it arrives in an Amazon box and it's picked by either a robot or someone who's picking thousands of orders a day. I can see the question, Michael. SBA is available for alcohol products. To sell alcohol on Amazon, you need to have a personal license and a premises license. If you email me afterwards or book a call, I can send you a how to sell alcohol on Amazon sheet, which should help. Anyway, back to the third way of doing it is where you can find a reseller who's already selling on Amazon and get them to sell your product for you. I'm in two minds of that. You lose complete control over your pricing, you lose complete control over the way the product looks and feels. Personally, I would go for Seller Central any day of the week. So here you go, there's the business models here. So as I've just gone through it all as well. But if you've got any questions on this page, please make a note now or ask the question. But I'm going to move on from this because I think I've explained it enough now. But my recommendation to everybody is always sell through Seller Central, and depending on your type of product or business, either ship it yourself or put it in Amazon's warehouse. Amazon's warehouse is preferable because you actually gain Prime straight away. So in terms of the prices, you've got this in terms of the type of account, so we've got how you sell to Amazon or on Amazon and the type of account you have. So an individual account has no fee, 75p per item sold, and that's ideal if your ambition is to sell less than 35 items a month on Amazon. Realistically, nobody starts their process with that in mind. So I don't know, I'd always advise everybody to get onto a professional account. It's £25 plus VAT per month. But with Amazon, you do pay them a commission on every single item you sell. And that ranges depending on the category between 7 and 15%. So there are some changes to that, but if you kind of base all of your figures on 15%, it will give you a feel. Professional account has far more. With an individual account, you can't do things like adding us as a user to help you. You can't create promotions. You'll never win the buy box. So the buy box is when you're on Amazon and you want one click to place an order. So it says add to basket. You don't ever have that. So it adds an extra layer or two in the buying process. So, to have an individual account is really for those that are trying to dip their toe in the water and not really taking it seriously. So Amazon itself is a sales engine. So we all know what a search engine is, and Google's a search engine, etc. And they have shopping on it. But Amazon's a sales engine. So the more sales you make, the higher you rank. The higher you rank, the more sales you make on top of that. So this is a client that came to us in October, end of October, and said, look, we're on Amazon, can you help our listings? They're not working, we're not selling anything. So we we spent ages trying to convince them that Amazon does work because they wanted to pull their products. Once they went live with us at the end of November, this is the kind of sales they've had since. Obviously, this is back to April now, but these guys, they're selling a chocolate product, and clearly chocolate, you know, down in the lockdown, you want to treat yourself. So maybe that's an angle there, but their sales haven't stopped. So, you know, it's all about sales on Amazon. So, okay, so the next stage is how to get started. So if you are going to set up a business account on Amazon Seller Central, these are the things you need to have, which I think most of you will have. So credit card, you need a credit card, sorry, it shouldn't say debit card, a telephone number. You need your bank account information to pay, to receive money from the sales. The credit card is to pay your monthly fee. If you're VAT registered, you can register your VAT on there and set up your VAT rates. And obviously you need an email address. So again, on here's the link. You'll get a copy of this afterwards, but just the fundamentals. If you're a limited company, you need to produce all of this. Sometimes you can get away with less, but you always need to have proof of the business. So that's generally from Companies House. You either need to have, which is a current appointments report. So this is where most of our clients fail, which is just to get verified. So you go into Companies House, look for your company, then pull off the report from Companies House. This takes a second to do, and it's free to do, but people just send all sorts of random business information. You don't want to do that. You need a bill to prove the company, and it has to be in the past 90 days. Again, people just send random bills or bank statements, etc. It has to be in the past 90 days. This is all because of EU law, and if you're on a marketplace, any marketplace needs to know their customer. So make sure before you start on Amazon, you've got all of this to hand. Again, this is what we do. We help people get verified, but in the case you want to do it yourself. And then to verify yourself. So again, this is where people give up, right? Literally go, look, I've had enough. You need to have a full valid passport or a driving license. These need to be clear photographs or scans of your product, okay? Of your passport or ID. The reason it needs to be clear is that Amazon read this information using AI. If you take it with a phone with a flash on, that flash will blur out some of the information. It just won't work. You won't be able to pass, and you'll keep trying and eventually give up. So decent scan or a really good photograph. And again, you need to prove your ID by a utility bill, etc. But again, remember, it's from the past 90 days. You can't just send a random piece of information. Okay, so that's the basics of opening an account. So next stage, you've got gated categories. We found in the past 6 months that more and more categories on Amazon have become gated. What gated means is you need to apply to sell that product. Whereas in the past, you could just literally list your product, off you go. Now you need to prove to Amazon the product exists. And this, again, is where a lot of companies fail or give up because they're not reading the requirements enough. So when Amazon say, are you the manufacturer? Yes. Are you the seller? Yes. You need to send in the most clear, real pictures of your product. These images won't be displayed on Amazon. They're looked at by a human to ensure you're complying to EU law. So for example, if it's a food product, have you got your name and address? Have you got your part number? Have you got your barcode? Does it exist? Can you show the back, the front, the top, the bottom, the sides? This is crucial to get selling on Amazon. So if you're trying to test the market of a product that doesn't exist, it's not going to happen for you. It has to be real products, and it has to be your product. Crucially here on Amazon, you need to have a GTIN barcode from GS1. Don't go down the route of trying to buy one from a friend or anything like this. It has to be an original one from GS1. Amazon will check with the databases and cross-reference this. And you don't necessarily need to have the barcode printed on your product. You need a barcode number. So if you're, I'll explain this in a bit, but if you're shipping into Amazon, right, Amazon provides you a barcode label you can apply to your product if you don't currently have the barcodes on it. And this is called an ASIN label. But you need the barcode to actually list the product. That's crucial. And again, if you're looking to sell something that's not your own, so you've, I don't know, bought something somewhere in big batch of products, you know, you need to have invoices from the suppliers showing that you've purchased more than 10 units. Now, I've had this with companies that are trying to sell their own brand in the States, like UK-based companies trying to sell their own brand in the States, but someone else is already selling for them. So they have to prove that they have to effectively invoice themselves to prove this. So it's a long process, but if it's your own product, it's quite straightforward if you have clear, real pictures of your product. So going back to adding products on Amazon, if any questions, again, please, you know, any questions that if you've been through this verification process and failed, or if you're currently struggling, do ask a question at some point. So to add your products, as I said before, you need a GS1 GTIN or a barcode number and a SKU for every single product you're putting on. So for example, if it's a pair of shoes, you need a barcode for the size small, medium, large, extra large, for example. That's not shoes, it's t-shirt. But so every single variation or every single size, color, flavor, etc. needs to have its own barcode and SKU. Crucial. If you don't have those, you need to create them. Pretty straightforward, obviously. You know GS1, so all your barcodes on there, but creating the SKUs, so you can create SKUs in any way you want, but make sure you've got one for each and it's all unique. I've had many companies say to us, right, here's our SKUs, and they're all the same number, so they have to be unique. The two ways of uploading a product: one, you can log into Seller Central and manually upload it. The problem with this is it's quite slow, and it's quite a lot of information you need to put on there in order for it to work. But if you've got 2 or 3 products, manually is fine, right? But if you've got more than, I would say more than 5 products, the best way to do it is a spreadsheet. So you can go into Amazon Seller Central, you can go to inventory, upload a product, and then create a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, then you can fill in, normally it's about 60 or 70 kind of spaces to fill in for each product. But once you get the hang of it, it's much quicker. And also, if you want to make changes, you can tweak the changes and just upload the spreadsheet. So there's 2 ways of doing it here. If anyone's got any questions on this, this is probably one of the most difficult elements with listing products on Amazon. I can answer any questions you've got on those. In terms of the way things work on Amazon, they call it a parent and child for variation. So if you've got, again, a shoe and you've got 5 sizes, right, you have to create a fake product, which is called the parent. So that has no barcode attached, but your own SKU, maybe call it parent 1. And all the colors or sizes or flavors, etc., fall underneath this as a child. So whenever you're working on Amazon, it's always parent, child, parent, child. Obviously, if it's a standalone product, it's just a standalone product. So we're moving on now. If you've got any questions on that, please, you know, we're moving on now to looking at the listings. So this is one of our clients that came to us and said, look, we know we're doing it wrong. We're not selling anything on Amazon. Can you help us? So this is kind of how it looked before we started. So, I mean, looking at that now, you can see you've got the title. On the left-hand side, you've got 3 images. Amazon allow you to have 9 images. And there's 4 bullet points. Amazon will enable you to have 5 bullet points. Now, everything with Amazon, so you need to look at SEO, keywords, how to make things get found, but you also want to make it coherent so someone knows what they're getting, right? Because believe it or not, this product here actually helps you lose weight, and it helps you clean your body, etc. So we changed it. We changed the list. Sorry, it's not so clear here. So we edited this, we optimized it, so now you can see it's got far stronger product images, there's more images, far more information, more bullet points, and they've actually got Amazon's choice for pure green coffee, which is a keyword phrase, and they're now selling loads and opening up rest of Europe and the USA. So details are crucial. You can't just stick a product on Amazon and expect it to sell. It takes a lot of work, but it's just kind of, just think, whenever you're creating a listing for yourself, just think about how you would view it, and maybe get friends and family to look over it and say, right, do you understand what it is I'm selling here? Because more often than not, they won't. And if they don't, get their feedback and keep tweaking the listings until everybody understands exactly what it is from the start. So again, attention to detail. You have a title, 5 bullet points, 9 images, a description. In the back end, you've got various things where you can put things like the ingredients, whether it's safe, legal notices. You can put more category based search terms as well. There's a whole lot you can do behind the scenes which will help your product sell more. Crucial to make sure you do all of this. Keyword research, there's loads of tools you can use online. Just Google Amazon keywords. There's loads of tools that enable you to do this. Often they offer you free trials. If you've got a couple of products, you can probably get away with never paying, which is great. So, excuse me, we're moving on now to brand registry. If you've got a trademark, registered trademark, which you can go, if you haven't got one, it's quite straightforward to do. Don't believe all the lawyers that say you need to spend thousands. I've worked with many companies that have set up their own trademark and it's cost them, I think, 150 quid or 200 quid. Basically, with a trademark registered, you can build far better listings on Amazon. You register your trademark on Amazon and it opens up a whole new world. So things like if you want to make sure there's no competitors or no one trying to sell your products or copy your products, which has happened a lot recently, you know, the tools will automatically scan the content, looking for images, looking for keywords, and then you can start reporting the violations to Amazon. So if you've got someone who's trying to copy your product, you know, you can take it down. Again here, when you're going through the brand registry process, you have to make sure you've got the trademark registered. A lot of companies we work with register a logo trademark, which is great, but then they'll change it 2 or 3 years later and forget they've changed it. So when you go to Amazon to apply for this, basically, you know, it will reject it because the trademark or the logo isn't the same as the registered trademark on the database. So make sure that your logos are the same. If it's a word trademark, so I don't know, fuel my website, for example, make sure you submit your word trademark in exactly the same tense as it's registered. So it might be capitals, it might be lowercase, it might be a mix. It has to be exactly the same. We pick up loads of clients on this side of things because they fail. It's just attention to detail, that's all. So once you've registered with your trademark on Amazon, you suddenly can open up a template to build further detail on your listings and also to build a storefront. Storefronts are great for advertising, and the listing content is great to explain more about your product, features, benefits, and showcase, and you can actually link up a product. So some examples here. This is an example of just a standard product description, which you can see is like one line, right, maybe one paragraph. Now that doesn't really enhance your experience, right? When we built the brand content for this particular product, all of this information sits below the top level. So when you look on Amazon on the PC, for example, this is the information that is below the screen. So when you scroll down, you'll see more information. But the crucial thing with this information is on a mobile phone, it appears at the top. Now, as we're moving towards mobile use, if you haven't got your brand registered, your trademark, sorry, go for it, get it registered, because this massively helps convert sales. Amazon used to say between 5 and 15% more sales because people view you as more of a professional company. And as I was saying before, when you've got this A+ content, you can actually link to other products you've got. And this is the only way of cross-linking within Amazon. So, for example, if you click on any of those titles on here, obviously you can't, but if you could, it would take you to the other product. So we do this for clients that, in this case, not so much, but maybe if someone's got a shirt, shorts and shoes that match as a set, then you can bring them all together and then maybe create the 4th SKU, which is the whole outfit at maybe a different price. So it just keeps them within your listings rather than disappearing somewhere else, trying to find what else you sell. Crucial thing. And obviously you have A+ content, it makes you #1. So this client of ours is now #1 for bubble bath for kids. You may recognize them, they were on Dragon's Den. If you have a storefront, so I was talking about storefronts, you can go into real depth with storefront, or you can go light. This client of ours decided to put a big video showcasing all their sweets, etc. You can only do this when you've got your brand registered. So hold on a second, there's a question from Clive. If you list all the variants, can you show that you have those 3 variants on the page? Yeah, so Clive, what happens is, how it looks is if you've got, for example, I'll go back to that shoe example. So you've got a red shoe with 5 sizes. It will say red. You'll see the main image, then you'll have a drop-down list of size small, medium, large, extra large, etc. And it's all on the one place. Again, I can send examples. Once you've got your listings built, then you'll probably need to start advertising. A lot of our clients use us and don't necessarily need to use advertising. It's all about how you optimize the listings initially. We always recommend starting with £5 a day for like 10 to 14 days, just to get the listings selling, right? Because I said before, it's a sales engine. So if you're not selling, you're not going to get found. So the more you sell, so it's worth investing some money in advance. And the Amazon advertising platform, it will show you what, sorry, stop again. If you've got your brand registered, you can actually advertise against other brands. So you can take over the top of the page with an advertisement. If you don't have brand registered, you can advertise individual products that will appear in search. But as I say, it's a sales engine, so you must gain sales as quick as you can in order to sell more. So as we say here, a lot of our clients don't want to tell people they're on Amazon. They want to keep the sales on their own website. But if you're going back to the beginning of this presentation, there are 40 million people on Amazon, right? What do you think that they're going to find you on your website quicker than they'll find you on Amazon? Tell everybody you're on Amazon, right? The more you sell on Amazon, the easier it is. So I can see there's a few questions here. I'll go back over the questions in a moment. But basically, if you're serious at signing up to Amazon, consider Fulfilled by Amazon. If you haven't got a trademark and you're serious about selling on Amazon, do so. It's far more professional. It adds more elements. Make sure you get your barcodes from GS1. Don't think about anything else apart from that. That's probably the most crucial thing of all of this. Build professional listings. Take your time. Use all the tools available to help yourself. If you've got your brand registered, make sure you build the A+ content and a store. And again, start the advertising. We've got crib sheets, so we can help you if you are registered on Amazon but you're not sure about the building the content, etc. We have crib sheets here that show you the sizes of the images required, etc. We can also, as I say, you can book a phone call up and help answer any questions you want. Again, you'll get a copy of this, but that here's my email address. Any questions you want, give me an email. At the bottom, you can see here is a link to Calendly, which is where you can book a phone call with me. I'm not going to try and sell anything. It's a triage call, so if you need any questions, that you can book a call there, and I'm happy to help. And there's some other links there, like to Seller Central, which is where you'd start your account process. Brand registry. So if you're already on Amazon now and you've got a trademark, click on that, sign up as soon as. And if you haven't got a trademark, there's a link there to show you how to register a trademark. Quite an important part. And I think I'm ready for questions.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Kevin. We had quite a few questions coming in. Just to remind you guys, if you didn't catch those links, you can actually download from the handout section. You'll see all the slides so that you don't need to try and type all those in quickly.
Sorry about that.
So just one other thing that we see from our members, when you're uploading your products onto Amazon, from the product ID menu, it's a drop-down menu. If you're doing it manually, make sure that you're selecting the option for EAN rather than GTIN or UPC or any of those. Amazon use slightly different terminology to what we use in the standards, so it can confuse some people. But we've got a couple of videos if anyone needed some help on that as well. So let's just have a quick look at the questions. Kevin, what do we see here? So Michael asks, do you have any advice for selling new category products that don't necessarily exist at the moment? So that's probably just what you talked about, finding it difficult when the product isn't real, for example, or hasn't been created fully yet.
New products don't exist. I'm not sure if I understand that question properly. Michael, please come back with that. But do you mean a product that doesn't exist on Amazon, or you're looking? I mean, there are tools. Okay, I think I know what you mean. Sorry, Lorna. Yeah, you're right.
He's sending in a couple more clarifications. Yeah, I think it's basically when it's a new product. So
right. Okay.
He's put a product that someone is not necessarily searching for.
Right. Okay. So if someone's not necessarily searching for it, you have to create demand or check demand. So there's a tool called Jungle Scout, which comes in a free form, If you go on Google Chrome, look for Jungle Scout. If you search for the type of product you're thinking of selling or you have, it will tell you roughly the number of sales being sold currently on Amazon for that type of product. And also, if you find something like slightly similar, it will tell you the sort of sales being sold. If it doesn't exist at all, the best way is to put one of the, like, to get the product made, put one, but in a small format. Don't make thousands and millions, but get a few hundred or 100 samples made. Put them on Amazon and put some advertising on social media, go advertising, and just kind of gauge the reaction. Amazon's a great place to do product launching and testing because it's quite organic. You know, that's the biggest marketplace in the world. So if you want to see if a product has legs, then test it on Amazon rather than test it through a website as a trial. Use Amazon as that test place. Does that help at all?
Yeah, that makes sense. We've got another one from Manvir, just wanted a bit more information on the A+ content. How do you get A+ content?
Right, so A+ content is only available if you have a registered trademark. So I keep going on about registered trademark. If you have a registered trademark, you need to log in to brand registry, which is the link I was trying to get back to, but unfortunately I killed the presentation. So if you go to brand registry, register your trademark. It takes 3 or 4 days, sometimes longer. Amazon will confirm with you that the trademark is yours. So they'll send you an email with a code. You put the code into Amazon. That then unlocks the A+ content. There's no other way of accessing that unless you have a trademark.
Cool.
If you have, just a quick response though, if you do have a trademark, you'll find it under advertising, which is called A+ content under advertising.
Perfect. That's great. We've got another one from Rebecca. I need a bit of help setting up my business account, maybe over the phone, etc. Well, that leads nicely to the call that you're offering, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah. if we could go back to that, if I could go back to that page a few pages ago, you'll see the links there. You'll get the presentation, but the link to booking a call is on there, and I can help you walk through that process.
Yeah. Let me just see if we can do that. Get back to that one. Ooh. We've had another question from Clive. Let's have a look at that while I start messing around. Been looking around on Amazon in my exact category. I would like to promote at the top end of pricing that is currently used. I have had loads of people trying to discourage me. I do a good trade in direct sales at the price I am, and I want to continue. I believe that customers will and are willing to pay the prices. We have a small following and a number of sales channels, including markets, websites, and our own app, which is launched. So I guess, what would you say around top end pricing?
Yeah, I can't see that question, so I'm having to.
Sorry, hold on. I'll just send it over. There we go. So yeah, it would just be, what is your advice on going in with a higher end price? Well, I guess it's around that Amazon is known for low prices, right?
Yeah, correct. So Amazon is typically known as low end prices, but they have also launched in the last few years like luxury, so luxury beauty, luxury products like that. I think to justify a higher price for a luxury product, you have to really have that A+ content to show the fact you have a brand on there, because people are not going to spend high-end money on a product if they don't see the value in it, and it's so hard to show the value with a basic listing. So the A+ content is a way I would go if I were you. If you have a trademark, you can put things like a video on there. You can, as per the example earlier, you can add more images, bigger, brighter, clearer images, etc. But it's really crucial, I think, for a branded product to have, for a luxury product to have that A+ content on there. I would also engage with a marketing company to do external marketing to Amazon, because as I've said a number of times in this, in my mind nowadays, it's almost pointless to put all of your energy pointing to your own website. Like, spread it about, spread it to Amazon. That's where the traffic is. And really work on converting it over. So you can do things like split testing on Amazon. So if you want to, try your product with different types of brand, you can there's tools called like Splitly, I think it's called. So you can split test to see which one works best for conversions. But the reality is, I think with a higher price point, get that brand registered. Do you have brand a trademark, Clive?
He
Cool.
said that it's a premium snack brand. I don't know about brand registry at the moment.
We worked with quite a few premium snack brands, Clive, and actually, if it's in grocery,
he said not yet.
Right. Okay. So with food products and certainly with snack brands, you won't have a problem. So that company I showed you earlier with the figures earlier of 130 grand or whatever turnover of sales, they don't have brand registry yet. We're doing that in August for them. But because they have quite a strong kind of brand away from Amazon, they sold out the first day we launched them of all their products. I think with the premium food products, you won't have any issues as long as the listings build correctly. There we go. So to answer your call, Rebecca, you can book on calendly.com if you're my. So Clive, yeah, you shouldn't have a problem. I think the crucial thing here is actually to register your brand if you can, register your trademark, sorry, but actually look at your listings. If you're not on Amazon, then we can help you. If you are on Amazon, look at the optimization side of things. Does it look and feel professional? Look at the images. Are the images looking professional? Are they clear? Are they explaining what your product does? Because with images on Amazon, especially with food, trying to explain the features and benefits, you can put text on the images, not on the first image. The first image on Amazon, always product only on a white background. But actually, as you start looking at the 9 images I showed earlier, 8 of the 9 can have text on them. So it might be one image showing the features, one might be showing the benefits. Do you see what I mean? So increasing the value there.
Great. That sounds really good. I've got another one from Manvir. How much do you charge just to set this up for a new brand? Manvir, I reckon it might make sense for you to book in the call and you can go from there. Is that what you think, Kevin? Yeah.
Definitely. The prices our services really depend on number of SKUs. So obviously, if someone's got 5 products, our fees will be far less than someone with 1,000. So yeah, give me a call, or set up a call or email me. Either way, I don't mind, and I can, but send me links to your products you've currently got or examples of them, and I can work out some pricing for you and actually explain more. I can send far more examples as well.
Perfect. We've got another one from Rebecca. Really struggling with putting GTINs to products at the moment, but she feels it might be something to do with being on a individual account rather than professional account. That might be something that us at GS1 will be able to help you with, but equally Kevin should be able to help you as well. So maybe book in the call or drop us an email and we can have a look at that for you. Yeah, we've got literally a couple minutes to go, so let's just get one last one in. How long does it take to set up?
How long does it take to set up? So at the moment, because Amazon's so busy, so to set your account up takes about 10 seconds, 10 minutes, let's say. To get verified is done over a number of days, normally 2 or 3 days, but that doesn't stop you from building your account. To get your listings up, building the listings depends on how quick you are with that. But I mean, generally, if you've got 1 or 2 products, you could be up and running on Amazon within a couple of days. It really depends on the verification at the moment, purely because there's kind of they're absolutely rammed in Amazon. So we've had verification processes last 2 or 3 days. If you're trying to open, for example, the gated category, so you want to sell food on Amazon, if you don't take those clear photographs I was talking about earlier of your product, so in your hand, for example, taking a picture of the product, if it's not clear enough, because they'll verify that in the first day, but if it's not verified in the first day, it can sometimes at the moment take up to 2 weeks to get the next verification through. So it's crucial to be very, very careful of them when you're trying to ungate a category. If you're looking at speed, take very clear, concise photos. Great.
Right, I think that's all we've got time for. I think we've covered everybody's, but obviously get in touch if there is any other questions. And if you put any more in the chat box, we'll get back to you as well. So just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you to Kevin. Obviously, that was a really great session. So there's been some really good ideas there. Definitely clear that there's a lot of questions from people. So it was great to have you on board. You can find him obviously on the usual social media channels. There's links available on our website. We're also going to do a follow-up email that will have a recording of this webinar as well. So just make sure you give us some feedback on the sessions. We want to make sure that we're giving you useful information. If you obviously have any queries for us here at GS1, then do get in touch as well. You can see the details on screen now, but like I said, we'll follow up with a recording of the webinar. So just want to say thank you. Hope you all enjoy your day. Thank you very much, Kevin.
No, thank you very much for the time, and thanks everybody for the questions. Really appreciate them. And again, as Lorna says, any other questions, feel free to ask GS1 and they'll pass them over.
Great. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.